Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Wealthy Mindset. It's yours truly, Money Making Mitch. And as usual guys, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research. So the registration numbers are out and I'm here to put things into a little perspective. Because a lot of people, this is exactly why William Lee didn't want weekly registration numbers out, because people don't know how to look at the big picture. One week it's up, oh my God, it's great. Next week it's down a little bit, oh my God, the company's going to go bankrupt. I say to you, pull your pants up and be a man. We're about to make millions of dollars. As Tesla sales continue to decrease year over year, every year, it just happened again. Even though their delivery numbers were up compared to last week, it's down year over year. Nio numbers were down just like the majority of other EV companies last week, which is typical for the beginning of the month, but yet we were up year over year again. How you like them apples? So it says China EV registrations for week ending August 10th, Nio was 6,100, Tesla 13,400, down year over year, Xiaomi 6,800, down from last week. Nio total registration was 6,100, including 3,200 units from Onvo. So that's more than half. Tesla's insurance registration in China last week increased by 21% compared to 11,020 units the week before, but down year over year. This is the trend real investors look at. While I always told you guys this, the way the game is played, Wall Street will say, oh, they were up compared to last week. They're gaining ground. Major electric EV makers mostly saw insurance registration drop in China last week, as vehicle deliveries typically slow down at the beginning of the month. During the week of August, Nio recorded 6,100 vehicle insurance registration in China, a decrease of 23.8% from the previous week of 7,930, according to figures shared today by several automotive industry observers on Weibo. The Nio main brand recorded 2,160 insurance registration last week, a decrease of 37.39% from the previous week. So do we look at what happens on a weekly basis, guys? On a monthly basis? On a yearly basis? Allow me to say this, it's not a weekly basis. And what we also look at is future projections, what's happening. So Envo sub-brand had 3,204 insurance registration last week, remaining near record high levels. Despite a 12.43% decrease from the previous week of 3,700 units. And that's with automakers across the board had lower registration numbers. The Firefly sub-brand saw 700 insurance registration last week, a 10.26% decrease, which is not bad considering everybody is down from the previous week of 780 units. But again, up year over year. Envo flagship electric SUV sport utility July 31st and began deliveries following day on August 1st. Envo L90 had 2,009 insurance registration last week, with Envo other model, the L60, had 1,150 registrations, with the whole industry down for last week, typical for the beginning of the month. Nio delivered 21,017 vehicles in July, marking the fourth consecutive month exceeding 20,000 unit threshold, according to the data released on August 1st, which represent a 2.53% increase from 20,498 units delivered in the same period last year. What do you guys expect going forward for the rest of the month and for next month? Though it marks a 15.68% decrease from 24,925 units delivered in June. The Nio main brand delivered 12,675 units in July. Envo delivered 5,976 units and Firefly 2,366 units. Firefly will begin deliveries in Norway and the Netherlands on August 14th, Nio announced last week. And we're going global. So Tesla launched a Model 3 variant with a higher price of $37,490. And they will launch a 6-seat model, which is a big Model Y. Basically, it's a bigger size Model Y. Uh, we'll see how it competes against the L90 with the amount of technology ours have with the frunk and the trunk space. But I'm not putting anything past the Chinese consumers. But anyway, Tesla sales in China in July were 40,617 units, down 12.14% from 46,227 units in the same period last year, and down 33.94% from 61,484 units in June. So when you want to put things in perspective, let's put them into perspective, guys. Xpeng had 7,900 insurance registration last week. So while we're up year over year, Tesla continues to fall year over year. A real investor will understand to look at this. Where are we going year over year? Where is dog poop, cat poop, rat poop, bat poop, smelly guano and buffalo poop Tesla doing? They are falling year over year. Xpeng had 7,900 insurance last week, a decrease of 12.9% from the previous week of 9,070. It delivered 36,717 vehicles in July. This marks the 9th consecutive month that Xpeng monthly deliveries has exceeded 30,000 units. And I'm not going to go into all the automotive companies, but I just wanted to give a little perspective on what's going on. And what about Onvo? Well, the CEO said he's expecting 10,000 a month. A lot of people are expecting 10,000 a week, but it doesn't work like that. And at the same time, even though we sold out 20,000 and we had another 10,000 orders last week, the government registration system takes time. So Envo L90 had 2,093 insurance registration last week, ranking second in China. Allow me to say that again. We ranked third the week before, but last week we ranked second. The L90 ranked second in China weekly sales of large SUVs, behind the Huawei-backed Aito M8, which recorded 3,690 units. Going forward, we're going to crush them as well. If Onvo maintains the delivery pace, the L90 could break Nio Incorporated record for the highest monthly sales of a single model. Let's put things into perspective, like I said. Onvo flagship sport utility model L90 delivered over 4,000 units within 10 days of its launch, poised to set a new monthly delivery record for models under Nio Incorporated. The official Security Times reported the figure today, stating that Nio sold 6,089 units last week, ranking among the top 5 in China weekly automotive sales. Ranking among the top 5, the Envo L90 has surged into the top 2 of the weekly sales ranking for large SUVs, surpassing the combined sales of Li Auto, Li L9 and Li L8, surpassing both of them combined. So do you think if the market panic and the shares go down, you should also panic and sell yours? I think not. I think we should continue to buy. This is just money-making Mitch opinion from being of years in the market and having gray hairs. Currently, Nio Onvo vehicle production plant in Hefei, Anhui province is operating at full capacity, ramping up production and accelerating deliveries, the report said, with our third F3 factory to be finished next month. In the week prior to last week, the Envo L90 saw deliveries reach 1,976 units within 3 days of its launch, ranking third. Now we're ranking second. The report did not specify, but weekly sales are apparently measured by insurance registrations, which really isn't accurate. Separately, according to a report by local automotive media Yeech today, the Envo L90 recorded 2,093 insurance registration during the week of August 4th to 10th. Last week, the Onvo ranked second in weekly sales of large SUV, trailing Huawei-backed Aito. And we're getting ready to go past them, guys. I truly believe that. And surpassing the combined total of 1,215 units for the Li L8 and Li L90. And that's another one that's losing sales week over week, month over month, year over year, while we continue to grow. Should you go and buy Li Auto? I remember when people were saying that on my channel, Li Auto is the better buy. Okay, they also said Xpeng is the better buy. Okay. We'll see who wins the race. The Ito M8 was launched on April 16th. Onvo officially launched the all-electric L90 on July 30th and began deliveries of the SUV the following day on August 1st. The latest figures mean that Onvo large SUV had 4,069 insurance registrations between August 1st and 10th. If Onvo maintains a delivery pace, the L90 is poised to break Nio's record for the highest monthly sale of a single model. Boom. So some people are saying, well, the main brand sales are going down. Well, this was to be expected. Toyota doesn't sell more Lexus than Corollas. It's just critical thinking and common sense, my dear lads. To date, the ES6 SUV holds the record for the highest monthly delivery volume. This is the Nio main brand. Among Nio incorporated models with 11,118 units delivered in July 2023. We know the ES8 that's coming, the revamped one, is a monster. And Nio already know it's going to be in high demand like the L90, selling like hot bread. The L60 Onvo first model was launched on September 2024. So I just wanted to do this video because the weekly registration numbers, what they fail to tell you guys is that in the beginning of the month, this time of the month, the deliveries for all EV companies and car companies are down in China as usual, but they wouldn't tell you that. What they will tell you is, like Claudio Afonso, who was fired by Nio and now have an X platform, he always put out the doom and gloom part of it. The main brand is down. Onvo is only sold this much when they claim to have registered this much, and they had 10,000 orders again last week. He's bitter after being fired. But we look at the big picture, understanding that this is just the beginning. The Envo L90 is crushing the competition like we knew it would. I hope you guys found this video yet again to be informational, inspirational, and motivational. If so, guys, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Takes a lot of time to do these videos and the editing. And if you haven't yet subscribed, you might want to think about doing so, because in this channel, we are waking up the middle class for the first time to get a major piece of the pie from the ground level up as to how the games are played on Wall Street. And like 50 said, we get rich or we die trying, guys.